I would say generally people underestimate how much things can cost. And I think, again, it just comes down to, you're not doing this all the time, so you just don't know what that market rate is.
Hi, this is Mary Jo at eXp Realty, and I am here today to talk about kitchen design. What's the one spot in your house that has the biggest investment, is the biggest seller, or needs the most attention? Your kitchen. So you have a couple of options. You can do it yourself, watching 400 hours of HGTV and then call somebody in at the end to fix it, or you can get some professional guidance. So I am lucky enough to have two designers from Studio M Design, Kelly Dabbert and Megan Dent, to talk about where do you start, how do you plan, what's your budget, and answer all your questions. So the biggest thing is, where do people start? They got 200 Pinterest boards. They don't know where to shop. Everybody runs to Home Depot. How do you talk to a client when they come in and they don't know where to start?
I think a great place to start is on the web. A lot of people do have started to create a house or a Pinterest board. I think a lot of people are familiar with those websites now. So just gathering different ideas. If you gravitate towards a specific photo, put it in your Pinterest, and once you start gathering a board, I think you'll start to realize, or it'll start to develop what your sense of style is and what you're looking for in a project. So I think it's just a great place to start.
Do people start really broad, or they come in with one idea?
It sort of varies, but I would say most people come in with a little bit of a broad idea. I think they generally know what they want, but when they meet with me, that's when we really, fine tune and hone in on what exactly they're looking for in the details.
Well, one of the biggest questions that I think most people would have is, can they get what they want from their home? If it's a kitchen or bathroom model, is it going to make it the house that they want? How do you help them decide through that?
I would say it's maybe just evaluating the entire home. So that may be a walkthrough with the family and just looking at the entire space, but also understanding up front exactly how they want it to function, how they need it to work for their lifestyle. Is the family going to continue to grow? There's just a lot of things that we would take into account on something like that. And we're seeing more of that. I mean, people don't want to give up their neighborhoods or their neighbors, or maybe the area that they work in, the home isn't perfect, so now they'll invest in it. And I think people too are, it depends on where your children are. Are they, young yet, or are they in their teenage years? People are looking ahead and whether or not they're going to stay in that space for the rest of their life, or is this just to get them over a hump of, to a certain point? So I would say just coming out and looking at the entire space and evaluating it and asking lots of questions, because there's a lot that goes into making that final decision.
Right. So the people who come in and they just want to do a quick remodel to sell, or the boomers who want to live there aging in place, how do you work with them differently?
We would do more of a refresh versus a complete remodel, possibly. Again, some people come in and we want to sell this home in 5 years, and we just need to do those few upgrades that will get us there. So that may just be actually top replacement. It may be refacing the cabinets if they want to change the overall look. Some new plumbing, lights, decorative lighting. So really, we don't get a kitchen and bath designer involved unless we're completely removing all the cabinetry or adding new cabinetry.
Okay, so you start off with, what is the goal? What is the short-term or long-term goal of the project?
Absolutely.
Right. Mm-hmm. And then let's talk about creeping scope. To people who don't know, creeping scope is when you do one project and you're thrilled with it, it looks gorgeous, and then, oh my God, the living room looks shabby, or the other rooms look really shabby. So these are add-on scopes. Do you talk about that in your initial interview with people?
We certainly don't want to go into a project and just remodel that specific room, because then it's really disjointed from the rest of the home. So we either want to have a plan, or if we want to do it in different phases, or just have something that's going to be cohesive with the rest of the home. If you're not going to change the rest of your home, just so that we aren't, designing in a vacuum, we really want to make sure that it's kind of has this continuous thread throughout. So when somebody walks into that room, they're not like, oh, wow, this is completely different. So absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so then let's talk about the big one, budget. People come in, do they come in with a budget in mind? Are they already financed, or do they have no idea?
Everybody comes at it a little differently. Some people, I should say most people don't remodel their kitchen or bathroom every year. So they're doing it every 20 years, every 30 years. So a lot of people just are wanting to get an idea on what that costs. So people don't generally know. So some people do come with a budget in mind. Some people are looking for some advice on what to spend on that project, and we help those clients. There's tools out there that we use based on the value of their home. Again, if you're gonna be in the home for 5, 10, 20 years, we're gonna look at it a little differently based on those details. So.
The budget that they start with, is it usually realistic, or they have to adjust?
I would say generally people underestimate how much things can cost. And I think, again, it just comes down to, you're not doing this all the time, so you just don't know what that market rate is.
What is the difference between buying something at Home Depot and going to a studio like your Studio M, and cost difference and service difference?
It's the experience that the design team brings to the table. So, and I by no means do I want to put anyone down, but we've had folks come through the door with something from a big box store, and it's more about just putting cabinets in a space versus more of a purposeful design or something that's very thoughtful about how those customers, how they want to live, how they want this space to function for themselves, for their family, for gatherings. And I will tell you that we have various price points to meet just about every budget. And we are true believers that great design is what makes all the difference in the world. If Megan designs a kitchen and someone who does not quite have that experience designs a kitchen, you're going to have two completely different layouts. And how are they going to function? Obviously, we are going to give both designers the opportunity to ask all the pertinent questions, but with experience comes a better design. And it's not always the first one that comes to mind, the first design. We have to work through the possibilities to find the best one, and that may be 2 or 3 iterations. So price-wise, we're very competitive, and typically we have no problem working with the majority of budgets out there.
So people should not be intimidated to come into Studio M.
No, and what I like to say is we make things we make things look expensive. It's our job to make a project look wow, but that doesn't mean it has to have a wow price tag. That means that with thoughtful design, good design, and a 1 or 2 wow factors in the project, it looks amazing. And so I like to say, don't be intimidated by our showroom. Our showroom literally is a tool for us to share with the consumer about how things go together, how things can look, why we did this or that, or why, how we applied this panel, and to show examples of when we say we're going to wrap something in furniture molding, how that's going to look and why we do it. And so we're just trying to use it as an example, but at the same time, we're trying to fully integrate so people can see how a particular space could look in their home. And obviously we've got all the furnishings and design that go together with our partner Studio M Interiors. So we're really just trying to provide a cohesive look at the end of the day, but our showroom is truly a tool toolkit for us.
So what I'm hearing you say is that really when you're working with clients, you're educating them on options that they might not see other places.
Yes, that's our job. Our job is to educate and find the best possible solution for them.
Well, I'd like to ask too about smart appliances and smart kitchens. Are you working a lot? Are people asking for smart kitchens?
I don't typically have a lot of clients that are looking for quote unquote smart kitchens, but I think certainly they're thinking about technology. I think because kitchens and bathrooms and these projects are large investments, they're a little nervous about investing in trendy or very new technology that may not last. So I think they tend to stick to what's tried and true, and maybe incorporate a little bit of that smart technology and things that can easily be switched out in the future, or maybe that aren't as pricey as some of the other options out there.
I think that's really an important point because we're looking at sustainability. We don't want to have, if something is too trendy, you don't want to have to swap it out every few years. I showed one house that was completely remodeled, a little house, and they did kitchen super modern with red lacquer cabinets. So it looked like a red lacquer spaceship. And I thought, my client is going to love it for 20 minutes, and then they're going to go, OMG, we're stuck with this for a long time. So you take sustainability and remodeling into the future into consideration as well when you're working with them. So they come in with an idea, but you are giving them not only a design, but an installation that'll last for years and is sustainable.
Absolutely. We want our clients to, one, be happy when it's all said and done, but to be happy for the long term. So I always tell my clients, stay true to who you are. Choose things that you like, that showcases your personality. And I think that's actually going to stand the test of time, or at least you'll be happier in the long run, as opposed to following the latest fads and the latest trends. And I think certainly, people want some of those trends, but you can do it in ways that maybe aren't as permanent or as costly to replace or switch out in the future. I think that if a client is going to stay in their home for 20 years, do it for yourself. But if you are going to stay in your home for maybe just a few years, you may want to think about what the general public is looking for.
For resale value.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I appreciate having you here.
Thank you, Mary.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Mary.